This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so it looks like Mayweather does not feel like the beef is over with 50 Cent, okay? He's still going to be petty. Him and 50 are very much alike, though. They're very petty, okay? So he knows that there's a problem going on with 50 Cent and Big Meech. So he makes sure to show a lot of love to Big Meech when he goes to Miami, okay? It is what it is, okay? I'm sure he was going to be with him anyways. But now that there's a beef there, now they squashed their beef 2 years ago. Like, for real squashed their beef at a Monique comedy show, right? But let's get into this and we'll circle back to this. Why do 50 and Floyd have this relationship where they hate each other so much, you know? Like, it's, look, he's over there. He probably gave, Big Meech is like, we'll do anything for cash now. If you go and drop off 20, 30 grand to him right now, you can pretty much get him to do anything. I mean, you know, he'll host a car show, anything. He'll do whatever, okay? Who knows what he's going to do for Floyd? All right, so look what he did for Ross. Put on T-shirts and everything. He was like, he was crazy. So Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent used to be really tight. It was almost like uncomfortably tight, okay? Like, and they got very disrespectful in their beef with each other because they're both very rich, very successful, and do not need each other. These are two people that don't really need each other at all. They're in two different worlds. They were both undefeated. 50 Cent was at the top of the rap game when they were like best friends. It was like 06, 07. They got real tight. And then Floyd Mayweather's obviously he's still one of the top boxers, but I'm saying like he was like the boxer. You guys know that. So anyways, they started around like early 2000s. They would hang out all the time. You would see like ringside. They'd do the money phone all the time together. I think they were, you know, when they did the behind the scenes of those Mayweather fights leading up to the fight. I forget what those things were called on HBO, but 50 would be there a lot around Floyd, and then the money team. They would call themselves the money team. Ray J would be around playing the piano. It was a lot. A lot was going on. It was a bromance. It was a spooky bromance. 50 would help like throw Floyd's birthday parties. He would go to court with Floyd when court was, you know, he would do everything. They were inseparable, right? And then things started to go wrong during their friendship. They would naturally start to do business with each other. 50 was interested in doing boxing. Floyd wasn't. Floyd would dibble dabble and have like artists and hip hop, but they never went anywhere. You know, he would just he would do kind of the big. That's the funny thing. He would kind of do what Big Meech did. He just put him in nice cars, try to pay a few people to like, do a DVD thing on him, put the camera on him, do this. That's what Big Meech was doing with Blue Da Vinci, right? And then in the process, Mayweather or Big Meech at those times, they would embrace other rappers that were big at the time to do a song with their artist, thinking that would take him out of there, and it doesn't, because it has to be it has to be kind of organic for an artist to really go, And 50 Cent wanted to dabble in boxing. He really wanted to set up like a promotions company, and he wanted to help. He wanted to do it with Mayweather. 50's very smart. Mayweather has smart people around him, but 50's really smart, and when he wants to do something, he obviously does it. He's gone far and beyond hip hop. He's done huge deals with companies where he owns a stake, and there's been exits where he, as you see with Vitamin Water. As you've seen with, there's a couple companies that he had big exits from. And Mayweather eventually got into trouble. He caught 2 months in jail for a domestic battery charge. And I mean, 2 months. It was, and it was funny when they drew this out. Like Mayweather was shook to go into jail for 2 months. I mean, I don't want to go to jail. I'm not saying I'm built for it. It's just you wouldn't think Mayweather, whose hands are like lethal, right, would go to jail. If going to jail for 2 months would mess him up so bad. But he was, 50 would talk about it like, yeah, he's not feeling it. He's used to a certain lifestyle. Chefs, bodyguards, drivers, he's used to a certain lifestyle. So while he was in jail, he continued to develop this boxing promotions company that they were supposed to do together. 50 Cent claims they had an agreement that he was gonna own a percentage, and that they would do it together. Well, when Floyd got out of jail, he kind of stiffed him. 50 Cent was signing fighters, getting licenses. He was getting aggressive. So when Floyd got out, there would be TMT, basically. He claims he was owed $2 million for his work with Floyd, and Floyd Mayweather said, "Nah, I ain't paying you, and you're not getting a piece of anything." And he could have took him to court, but he was really friends with Mayweather, so it's like, do you want to take your friend to court? He was there when he got out. He was there for everything. So 50 Cent took to the radio and basically said, like, 50 Cent's a master. You don't want to have beef with him. But Mayweather's good, too. Mayweather's a good talker. So this is the clip where he claims he owns the logo and he could really stop TMT.
Using TMT as their logo right now.
Well, you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again.
Yeah.
They will go cool and not cool, like during the stint of I think it was 10 years at this point, And they're obviously still have problems today, Mayweather's the type of guy who just really won't let things go, Mayweather would, say 50's lying and The Sun and a bunch of other stuff. 50 Cent would say, "I'm not in the marketing campaign, champ. Keep my name out of your mouth. Damn, somebody read this for champ. I don't mess with you. And you don't mess with me, okay? It's over." Because he always said he can't read. Then he said, Floyd would say, 50's lying about the deal. Then he said, "There's one thing clear. Money turned these." Okay, so yeah. Then we got 50 Cent, and he got real petty. He went on a campaign, and he challenged. I remember when he challenged Mayweather to read. He really went to embarrass Mayweather, but Mayweather clapped back many times. He also says, "I heard 50 would like to fight me, but claims I'm too small. If he wants to lace up and get in the ring, we can do that. Winner takes all." He said stuff like that. But I remember this one where this one was legendary. Wait, you'll see right here. He said,
Woke up, I look at the computer say, Floyd said, "Fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say fuck me for? Nelly fucked your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fucking fiance. Say fuck that nigga.
And then T.I., it's like T.I. and him had this big thing where it was over Tiny. T.I. felt Floyd Mayweather was too friendly with Tiny. Then he gave, I think this is the next one, he did the ALS challenge. Well, we'll just listen to this.
This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, nigga, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. Fuck the bucket of ice, man. I got a phone call from my man Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy said if Floyd accepts the challenge, that he'll put it on the actual show, so you can read it on the show. We don't want to put pressure on you. We know you can't pronounce those words in that Harry Potter book, so we're gonna let you read Cat in the Hat.
Oh my, yo. and says that so 50 Cent around this time was launching his own company called SMS Promotions, and this went to, and at the same time he had SMS Audio. Remember, I think he had a big exit from SMS Audio too. 50 Cent's done a lot of stuff, bro. He had his own headphones for a long time. That was a big thing for a while. Rappers having their own headphones. remember that time? So anyways, then Mayweather dropped this. He says, remember, Irv, he's trying to like touch a nerve with 50 Cent. Pause. So he would say, oh, you stole your style from Ja Rule. Then he was like, oh, you're a informant. Because remember, Irv Gotti and Ja Rule typed up that fake order protection when it was, they took the order protection from the engineer when Ja Rule and Irv Gotti ran up on 50 Cent in the studio, and a lot of people got stabbed up, right? On both sides. There was an engineer in there, right, at the studio. Civilian dude, right? It has nothing to do with these beefs. He took out an order protection against Irv Gotti and Ja Rule because he got stabbed, right? So I remember Irv Gotti tried to show it on the radio. Oh, I got it right here. This is going to end him. Nobody believed it because it wasn't true. It was proven to not be true. So anyways, Mayweather obviously has someone write this for him. And he says, I'll just skim through it. We're not going to read the whole thing. Curtis, confidential informant Jackson, you're mad because your oldest son, Marquise' mother, doesn't want to be with you. Your son, your own flesh and blood, doesn't want nothing to do with you. You have had a hit song on the radio, and who knows how long. Let's see. And when you're definitely not hot enough to even sell records anymore, so Interscope dropped you. You are jealous of any rapper, athlete, entertainer that's hot and got something going on for themselves. You are a certified snitch and got paperwork to prove it. You talk about Ja Rule, but you stole his whole style and ran with it. You're the only self-proclaimed gangster that never put in work. You need to pay homage to the real 50 Cent for stealing his name, storyline. Your claim to fame is that you got shot numerous times and living to tell it. You think that's gangster? Where at? You're currently living in an apartment in Jersey. You're always in somebody else's business just to stay relevant. You should just become a blogger because it's obvious you have nothing going on in your life. Now, at this time, 50 Cent still had that mansion in Connecticut, and he had a house in L.A. So, he was just... And then he says, are you mad at Kanye West, who ended your career? The only thing you got going on is power, and everybody watches that because of the Ghost's dope character on the show. You can leave the show. Everybody will still watch Power. He's created Power with Courtney. It's funny. He says, I think 50 Cent responded by I guess you can't read the credits. I'm one of the creators. He says, but out here in the real world, I'm the real ghost. I'm the real ghost. That's not a mansion in Connecticut. Wait, that's not a mansion in Connecticut that you're in debt for. That's a dump. A money pit, oversized trap house. It was dope when Mike Tyson had it in the late 80s and early 90s, but you can't afford to maintain it. You're always talking about somebody is broke, but the last time I checked, Curtis Jackson, that you filed for bankruptcy. So quick gossiping. Why you tell everybody how you got, something on, STD from DJ. Where's your memes for that, huh? Or yet post how your Coca-Cola deal wasn't really $300 million, you liar. Tell how you spent a G-Unit necklace that somebody got robbed for was fake. Yeah, that was Young Buck got robbed for that chain. Just remember, I was with you every day. And your driver, Bruce, was my driver. I know all your bones are buried, so be easy, Curtis. And by the way, don't ask to borrow no more money from me. Yo, man, so because after this, Mayweather got really his ego was bruised because 50 Cent started talking about Floyd Mayweather's broke, and this was deep into the beef. I mean, we're 8 years in at this point.
Actually commit to yourself and what you want for your life. Even Floyd, when you make yourself we got issues or anger, he's still the best fighter out there.
So 50 tried to take the high route, but think about 50. He's diabolical, right? So he'll prop you up just to diss you again. So he introduced like Floyd. He's one of the best fighters, man. And then they're like, "Do you really think that?" And he's like, "Of course, but I think he has to fight."
He got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's
The money's good.
The money, fight.
all that money.
It's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high?
Lifestyle, that money's gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local hosting.
Now, 50 wasn't. I mean, the money was not gone, but Floyd Mayweather did go through a harsh time because when you see these checks, it's to pay a bunch of people. Like there's other people that make a lot of money off those checks, and he spends a lot of money. When you see these headlines right now, just so you guys know, Rick Ross is doing the same thing. Mayweather took a large portion of money. He made good money with when he did the McGregor thing, and remember those scrimmages he was doing? He was getting money together to join, and he did it fast. I think he got like 100, maybe probably 200-300 million together, right? He joined a big real estate like investment firm where a bunch of people put hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into it, so it's worth billions, right? And they invest big chunks of real estate. And then Floyd Mayweather's acting like he's buying it himself, when really it's a bunch of people putting money in. Nas, same similar thing. He has a venture capital firm with his money and a bunch of other rich guys' money. They call it Queensbridge Investments, but they're invested in a lot of companies, and Nas has had huge exits from that. And they keep their money working for them. They're invested in a lot of companies. Jay-Z does similar things with Marcy Investments. He copied Nas, but it didn't have the same success. Rick Ross is doing the same thing with the companies. He, it says he's buying that mansion. You never see him at that mansion in Miami too often because they bought that mansion on Star Island for $35 million, and they're probably going to try to turn it into something that's worth $60 million. They're tearing the whole house down and redoing it. I don't know why they didn't just. I guess it's cheaper to buy a house that already has the plumbing and everything in it because there's a piece of land next to it. But they wanted the same amount of money, so yeah, I could think it would make sense to buy the house because then you already have the plumbing running up the drive. I don't know if you guys have ever built a house before, but just to run the electrical and the plumbing from the road, every foot costs a ton of money, and permits and everything. So Mayweather starts posting checks for different fights. Then he starts putting up, like Floyd Mayweather's like a male boxing groupie. 50 Cent used to hold my belts. He would say 50 Cent's net worth $20 million. My new watch, $18 million. And Gervonta has problems with Mayweather, but listen, they squashed their beef after this. And
wait, so
what did they say? It was 2022. 50 Cent got on the Breakfast Club. Let me pull this up. And he basically said the beef's over.
And I'm like, look, he don't need me. I don't need him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's different because a lot of the people around are codependent. So they need each other
right
longer because we don't really need a lot faster. Like me and him get into an argument and it can go on for a lot longer because we don't really need each other.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yo, yeah. And it's still idolized. I even understand, even with the young fighters when I'm talking to them, and they go, oh, yo, yeah. And it's still idolized Floyd because that sport, particularly, it'll be 4 fighters making more money than the entire sport.
Yeah, Mayweather, very few people. It's him, Tyson, a couple other people that really made an impact.
Still is there. It's one of the top earners in the sport of boxing.
how was that initial conversation?
Now, he says that they were forced to talk at a Monique performance. They were both at. Monique said, you guys need to squash this. You guys are brothers.
Yo, YG, someone pull up on me, file.
Wow.
Crazy, man. You say all that stuff. You say all that stuff about me. Yo, what you been doing? Right? And because this experience is different from him too. Because like you see, when I'm like, yo, chap, I gotta run. I gotta go back.
Oh yeah, he said he saw him making Power, and 50 Cent actually made. Think about it. Power had been in the works since 2010, 11. It didn't really come to TV till 2014 or 15. It takes years to develop these things. That's why BMF, you saw it start in 2016. You didn't even see it till 2020.
To LA right quick. He said, all right, but that's me going to meet with Courtney to give her the information to develop Power. So every single thing that you see happening in different on the television platforms, different things, he like, yo, nah, he was saying that. He was going on.
Yeah, so they squashed their beef, but now, see, Mayweather likes to keep these things going. I haven't seen 50 say anything, but 50. This is his way of starting up the beef again. Takes pictures with Big Meech. Look at Big Meech is like smiling, like, "Ha, this is your friend. This is your best friend, and we're with him." And Little Meech thinks Little Meech and Big Meech are guaranteeing that that 50 Cent will keep their life rights and tank the show and make sure they can't do anything else with it. He'll do things. He knows how to keep your life. I'm sure there's a limit to well, he already did it. He made something happen with the life rights. He owns them. Big Meech can't do anything without talking to 50 Cent about his life rights. Nothing. This guy's a bozo, and his son is mini bozo. I really was rooting for him when he came home. I was like, yo, when Meech come home, he's going to be different. You're thinking, do 20 years in jail, you're going to do things different now, and you're going to leverage the celebrity you have. And especially, it was perfect timing. 3 years into BMF series, BMF's looked at a whole new generation looks at them like, wow, this and this happened. Like it's a big TV show. But he wants to feud. Remember what happened to Charlie Sheen? You start feuding with the people that are putting you in front of everybody. You just disappear, man. And Big Meech is going to just disappear. What, do you think Mayweather's going to do? What business could he do with Big Meech? Mayweather is into real estate now. And that's it. He's into real estate, and he makes a lot of money. What is he going to do with Little Meech? He doesn't have any TV shows or movies going on. Mayweather can't focus on anything else. He's going to do what he's good at, right? And Big Meech, what are you going to do with an ex-drug dealer or washed-up drug dealer? Nothing. Especially when 50 owns the life rights. You can't do anything with him. Nothing. Big Meech and Little Meech are going to be on Love and Hip Hop. That's almost guaranteed at this point. Guaranteed. And he's going to miss those checks for 50 Cent. For millions of dollars, they're going to be making $10,000 an episode, and they're going to be making $10,000 a walkthrough if they're lucky. If they're lucky. That's it, man. In Mayweather and Rick Ross. Remember when Mayweather and Rick Ross teamed up when 50 Cent and Mayweather and Ross had their issues? I mean, this is a typical Mayweather move. Mayweather will be 49 years old today. A little old to be acting like you're in your 20s or 30s. Petty. 50 Cent has a real gripe with these guys. You could say, 50's being petty. Yeah, he's petty, but it's always behind something real. If Big Meech honored the deal and everything, be no issue. There would be no issue. They would continue making the business. Why would 50 hurt his business just because he found out Big Meech wasn't as honorable in jail? Right? He wouldn't care. He'd be like, we're doing business together. But once you violate the business contract, you ain't going to run away with the show I just put together. You ain't going to run away with that fame and turn it into something else. Nah, you're going to just be destroyed now. And that's what's happening. 50 Cent invested 8 years of his life into developing this particular show. You would be mad too. You would be mad too. It's not just about a picture with Ross. You got to understand, before that, Big Meech was asking for more. more of the life rights money. More, yeah, he wanted more than he was owed. He wanted to quickly become executive producer and like he knew how to run a TV show. When 50 Cent was like, just work with me and we'll do some spinoffs and you can be executive producer on those because it's more information. But he wasn't patient. There was no patience there. He wanted the money now. He should have asked 50 Cent for a loan, to be honest with you. That would have been, and then 50 would have done a professional loan together, and he would have just earned it back on the spinoffs. But you know, right now Big Meech is doing anything for. How much do you think Floyd Mayweather gave him? 50 grand, 100 grand, maybe. It's possible. Maybe more. I don't know. Mayweather's not too generous. He's generous, but not too generous. We'll see. It's JordanTower with JT News. Peace.